You're listening to Ask the Expert with Andrew Johnston. Hey everyone, welcome into this week's Fast Facts. I am your host, Andrew Johnston, and today we are going to talk about, I think we had titled this one about how dentistry is broken. It's not misleading, but we're going to talk about like how segmented dentistry really is and the absolute need we have for fighting for our autonomy right now. You've seen it in lots of people's posts right now. This is kind of a concerted effort that everyone's kind of joining in on. But let's first look at this, dentistry is broken. Like that's the statement, but really is it? And so I saw this stat, and the reason why I want to talk about kind of all this other stuff today is because the stat that I saw from this past weekend from the CDC, I think it was kind of an older stat. I think it's from 2012 that said something about 90% or 91% of adults have had tooth decay. And that was between 18, I think, and 64 years old in 2012 had some sort of tooth decay. Not active decay, but historically within their lifetime they have. We also know that almost half of Americans over 30 have some form of periodontal disease. And even more than that, if you listen back to Katrina did an episode a long time ago, but she really broke down all those metrics, including the numbers for gingivitis and gingival disease, and at different stages of that, which exponentially increases the disease rate. At the same time, Statista, which is just a stats aggregation website, had some metrics from a few years ago. I think it was in 2019 that reported that 65% of Americans 18 to 65 had visited the dentist in the past year, while also stating that 87% of children had visited a dentist in the past year. So really approaching that 90% for kiddos, 65, so over half of adults in the US had visited a dentist. Yet we have 90% of adults who have had tooth decay. We have over half of them with some form of periodontitis. Assuming that all of these data points are correct, doesn't something seem broken here? Like this isn't working together. If most of the people are seeing the dentist, then why do all of them who are seeing the dentist plus some still have disease? So I say again, does it seem broken? Well, it does and it doesn't. Or I should say it is, but it isn't. Most of you listening to this show are dental hygienists. We think differently. We see the world differently. The things that brought us into our profession are completely different than the things that brought others into their professions, including most dentists. So let's think about the origins of dentistry. The dental profession has never really been about preventing problems, has it? It's always been more reactive. We have to fix the people's problem. People never went to the dentist before until they had pain, until there's a broken tooth or a missing tooth. But even with missing teeth, you look back in the photos from the olden days, lots of people had missing teeth. It just wasn't a thing that people were concerned about. Now we look at dental hygiene. Dental hygiene is completely opposite to all of those things. We work to prevent the issues. We see people, hopefully when they're healthy, and give them the tools necessary to prevent the disease. But should they come in with some sort of issue, we fix those issues or at least get it stabilized and then help them prevent relapsing, right? That's kind of our whole gig. And there really are no external motivating factors that drive a dentist to prevent issues. And in fact, if you really look at it, it puts them squarely out of a job and greatly impacts their quality of life if all of the patients are healthy. So other than the desire that most people have where they want to help people in their community and there's that sense of just belonging and trying to make people happy and things like that, everything else works contra to those feelings for them. A healthy community is really the last thing they want to see. And if that is the case, where one part of the industry is about reparative and one part of the industry is about preventive, how will they ever work together? Because how invested are the reparative people in supporting the functions of those trying to prevent them from having gainful employment? So to that end, yes, dentistry is broken. There's a lot of things within dentistry that are also broken that we're not going to talk about on this particular episode. But in my opinion, this is way past time that we have self-regulation as dental hygienists. This does not mean that we still don't want to work hand in hand with our dentist and our dental teams. This isn't about striking it out on our own and creating a huge divide in the dental space. That's not what this is about. We're not trying to do that. But it's about autonomy to do what is right using the drivers that motivate us to do what we do. And for all of the crap that I've given the ADHA in the past 6 months, their messaging, at least to me, is slowly improving. And there's a hint of a whiff of a possibility that they might want to try and collaborate with others on this particular issue. There was a post on LinkedIn about a week ago. They posted about SB 1124 that passed in Arizona. But in that same post, they talked about another bill, SB 1037, that did not pass, and that the contents of that bill should really scare everyone, because the contents of that bill were talking about trying to eliminate accreditation requirements. So in that same post, the ADHA is asking for your help. They're asking if you hear about bills that might be introduced or that are actually making their way to being proposed or that have been introduced, they're asking you to email them, advocacy@adha.net, and let them know what's going on. Now, do I expect them to write you back? No. Do I expect them to thank you? Maybe. Do I expect you to get any recognition if they are successful in their endeavors in preventing or defeating bills? No. But it is still the right thing to do. Again, that email address is advocacy@adha.net. I think it's really important that you save that and tuck it away for a rainy day just in case you need it. So to sum up this episode, yes, dentistry is completely messed up. We haven't even talked about the conflicts of interest of the dental insurance companies or the other entities that are out there. But we can't sit on this problem any longer. The fact that one group wants to be reparative and the other group wants to be preventive, and that they will never see the profession in the same way. And it's time that there is a separation. So I'm asking you to be involved in as many organizations as you feel will welcome you, will appreciate you, will listen to your input. And in the meantime, let's keep our heads down and keep protecting the public the way that only real dental hygienists can. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a great week. Thank you for listening to Fast Facts Ask the Expert. If you have a topic you'd like one of our experts to answer, simply email me, Andrew, at ataleoftwohygienist.com, and we will get it on the air as soon as possible. Thanks for listening.